Can breakfast cereals work for diabetics? Well, yeah, they actually can, but you've got to be a little bit creative or know where to shop. We're going to be talking about 3 different options for breakfast cereals coming up. Well, as you can see, we have my lovely wife with me once again. Her name is Benedicta, so happy you could join us.
Yes, I'm happy to be here. How y'all doing?
Now, Benedicta's been asking, can I do the introduction? So even though I've introduced this before, I'm going to let her do her own personal Benedicta introduction, so go for it.
Hi everyone, this is Dennis Benedicta here, and we're here to give you a different version of cereal today made with seeds and nuts. So stay tuned and watch us.
So now you've had a double introduction, one by Dennis, one by Benedicta. And you know, sweetie, there are some things in life, there are a lot of days we go through that are just ordinary days. Yes. And if somebody says, do you remember what happened on a day, you wouldn't possibly remember. They're just too ordinary.
Yeah.
But there are some events in our lives that are so vivid and they just stand out in our minds that you're going to be carrying those memories to your grave. I mean, as long as you live, you'll never forget. And you know what one of my memories is?
Tell me.
Well, when we first got married, I ate cereal, usually on Sunday mornings, right? And do you remember the particular cereal that was my cereal that I almost always ate?
Yeah, that's K something.
Special K.
Special K.
Protein. Right. And they had a relatively low-carb recipe with that. It was the lowest of all carbs in the grocery store. And believe me, I would know because I've gone through practically all the cereals and checked out their carbs, their net carbs. Special K protein had about the lowest. And because I just loved cereal, have always loved cereal, I that was what I had every Sunday morning.
Yes.
That was my theology. You eat cereal on Sunday morning, Special K protein. But the day came when I heard they had come up with a new formula for Special K protein.
Right, that did it for you.
When I heard that they'd come up with a new formula, I got sick to my stomach.
I know.
I knew it was not going to improve the carb situation. And sure enough, I was a prophet. I was exactly right.
Right.
They had added extra sugar to it. That was the so-called new formula.
New formula.
And so for a while, you could get both the old cereal and the new cereal at the grocery store.
Right.
Well, I decided I'm going to buy up every box of the old formula.
Yeah.
Before you can't find it anymore.
The stuff.
So getting back to the memory that is so vivid in my mind, I will never forget. You know what that is? It is you climbing on the shelves of the Kroger grocery store to get to the top, the top shelf. I was too embarrassed to do that, but you were not. And I can remember you to this day climbing up there and reaching and handing them down to me. All those old formula Special K protein cereals.
Kroger would be like, we got a crazy one in the store, y'all.
Yeah. I was kind of looking around wondering if anybody was going to say anything, but nobody did.
We wanted to get all the cereal in the store, so wherever I see it, even if it's at the end of the I had to go there and get it.
Every last box of Special K protein, the old formula that had less sugar, less carbs, we put in our basket. I think we must have had 10, 12 boxes of it. Wiped them clean of the old formula. Yeah. And it lasted me, because I only ate it once on Sunday and usually just one bowl, so it lasted me almost a year, I think, before it finally ran out. And finally I just gave up on cereal. Well, a while back I did a video about the chia seed type. I call it cereal. Really, some would call it pudding. But that's not bad, not a bad substitute. And but today there's a couple new options. I found this on Amazon. Actually, it was sold as granola. I was looking at it, I was thinking, man, that looks good, and it looks low carb, right? Because it's basically, like you said, nuts and seeds. But they mentioned in their description you can put milk on it and eat it like cereal. Okay. So my mind started running, and I started thinking, hey, I can make this myself. I don't have to order this from Amazon. So I looked at the ingredients carefully and bam, I put together some stuff. And the thing I love about it so much is, can you guess the number one ingredient that makes it so special to me? I'll give you a hint.
Coconut.
Yes, I love coconut. Anything that you put coconut on, I will enjoy. So this has coconut. In fact, I added one to the original Amazon thing that I saw.
Yeah.
I use shredded coconut, and you want to pass me that one down on the end?
Okay.
And these I'd never even heard of. They're called coconut chips. Right. Well, they're in the sort of a flake. Well, cereal comes in flakes. So I thought, okay, it's going to be like a flaky cereal, except instead of wheat flakes, it's going to have coconut flakes. And these are very low carb, high fiber. So we've got the coconut flakes. We've got the shredded coconut. We've got some pumpkin seeds without the shells that have been roasted. We've got another flaky item, which is the sliced almonds. Sort of looks like a flake and makes it more like a cereal. And then I threw in some pecans. I just think this is wonderful.
Okay.
I've had it a couple of times. Gave you one spoonful, and I think you enjoyed it. So we're going to have this. I'll put the ingredients down below in the description, but here's the key right here. This little 1/3 measure, because I've taken 1/3 of all of these. 1/3 of the pumpkin seeds, 1/3 of the almonds. I didn't take quite 1/3 of the pecans because they're so expensive. 1/3 of the coconut chips, 1/3 of the shredded coconut, and then I mixed in a couple packets of stevia / monk fruit, I think it is.
Right.
So, and then we've got our milk. This is not regular milk. This is part cream, heavy cream, and part water. Two parts water to 1 part heavy cream. So it's going to be less carbs than regular milk. So go ahead and pour some milk onto your cereal.
Do you think this is going to be like protein K?
Special K protein?
Right.
I'll tell you what, it's going to be better than Special K protein.
Okay. Well, I wanted to, before I pour the milk, I wanted to tell you that what I did at Kroger is because I love my husband that much that I had to feed him with his special cereal.
And I appreciate that, my love.
I had to go extra mile.
Was anyone so blessed to have such a wife as me being blessed to have you? And just put whatever amount of milk you normally hand it to me. I'll pour some, and you go ahead and take a bite while I'm pouring and give us your verdict as to what you think about the taste. You kind of mix it around a little bit. Get that stevia kind of mixed in.
Okay, testing time.
Testing time.
Yeah.
I'll bet you taste that coconut.
Mm-hmm. It's really good.
Yeah.
It's good.
You know, there are some things that we do keto style that are almost as good as the normal. And I would call them manageable. It's like, well, it's maybe not quite as good, but it's manageable. It's definitely better on my blood sugar. In this case, this is not just manageable. To me, I mean, we all have our different preferences, but to me, this is better than Cheerios. This is better than Cocoa Puffs. This is better than Sugar Frosted Flakes. This is better than Trix. On and on I could go. I think this is better than anything you can buy at the store.
It's really good.
My own opinion. All right, well, we're going to eat our cereal. We're going to go down and watch a little news. It's still breakfast time for us, although we're running a little bit late. And then we'll get back with another cereal you can actually buy at the store that, believe it or not, has the big word keto on it. Be back in a little bit. Well, we're back for our next cereal, and, Bob Dylan wrote a song years ago. You weren't here in America. I'm sure you wouldn't know about it, but it was a mega hit called The Times They Are A-Changin'.
Okay.
The times they are a-changin'. Well, that is certainly true these days in a lot of different respects, but we're talking about in terms of what people eat.
Yeah.
You know, when I first went low carb, the Atkins craze was a big deal. There are a lot of people wanting low carb foods because of Atkins.
Okay.
Then that diet lost favor. People forgot about it, moved on to other things. And all the low-carb products disappeared from the shelves. It was sad. The only way I could get low-carb foods was either to just eat meat and eggs and vegetables or order things online or make them myself. Nothing from the store shelves that was low-carb at all.
Okay.
And then came the keto craze.
Okay.
Keto became a big deal. It is huge these days. Now, I'm not trying to say that everybody does keto. They certainly don't. But enough people do it.
Yeah.
And we're talking millions in America.
Okay.
That the food producers and the ones that make food, they have taken notice.
Okay.
They're like, well, let's cash in on this baby.
Yeah.
And so, lo and behold, we've got keto cereal on the grocery store shelves.
Yay.
When I first heard this, I got kind of excited
Okay.
and couldn't wait to try it. Went to Walmart. They said that Walmart carries it. They didn't have it at the time it was sold out. It shows you how popular it is. But I went another time to a different Walmart and got this. This is called Wonderworks Keto. Wonderworks is the company. And they may, you may find it at other stores besides Walmart. I honestly don't know.
Okay.
But it calls itself keto friendly and brags about having 3 grams of net carbs per serving.
Okay.
Cereal servings you got to really watch because they're like a 1 cup measure. They call it a serving, and that is not a serving for almost anybody. So, even these bowls are not big, but it's going to end up being over a cup. Anyway, for 1 serving, only 3 grams of net carbs. So it comes down to 3. There's 3 different types. One is peanut butter, chocolate, which reminds me of Cocoa Puffs I used to eat as a kid.
Right.
And then the one over there is the cinnamon. So I'm going to let you pick. They're all going to be 3 net grams of carbs. Yeah, they're all the same with the net carbs. And we're going to try it. But, before we actually get into eating this, I thought to myself, what our channel lacks, what we just don't have,
What?
is action. We need action in this channel. You got the TV action movies are so popular. And you got guys running around and shooting and driving cars. And one of the things you see in the action movies is slow motion.
Okay.
They'll have a guy running and he'll be in slow motion.
Slowly.
And that's, supposed to be really dramatic. Or maybe if there's a group of people, like a team, and they're all walking side by side at the end, and they're slow motion walking. And you just think, man, if I could only
That is so good.
if I could only be part of that team, I'd be so
I
cool.
know.
And here I am, I just walk normally. I don't walk slow motion, but those cool people, they know how to walk slow motion.
Yep.
Of course, it's not them, it's the video editors. So I thought, since we don't have much action, we talk about diabetes, we talk about keto, low carb, blood sugar, glucose, insulin levels, all that stuff. It's not really exciting, except if you need help, it's exciting.
But we have done Granny
that was
video.
exciting.
We have done Miss Fruity video. We have done another one that, that we did about 60 ways.
Cousin Billy Bob.
Cousin Billy Bob.
All right. Well, we're getting off target here, but you're right.
Okay,
We've done
action.
several. What we need to do right now is have an action segment of this video.
Okay.
What we're going to do, I'm going to get out of the way so the camera can focus totally on you. And I'm going to have you pour your cereal into your bowl. But we're going to do it, we're going to add slow-mo to that so that you look real cool and like you are part of an action movie. We are back. Sweetie, we've eaten a lot of cereal in the last couple of days.
A lot of it.
More than usual, for sure. But in this case, they were all relatively low-carb cereals, and we wanted to demonstrate by blood sugar tests how they would work for us. Of course, for you to find out how they'll work for you, you need to test yourself, but we will share how they worked for us.
Right.
Let's go over these with the first one we did this morning. Was the granola, I call it granola coconut cereal. It's kind of Dennis's homemade version of cereal. Okay. And tell us what you started at as a pre-meal test and then what your post-meal number was.
Well, I started with 86, and then after 1 hour, after eating on 1 hour time, I ended up with 92.
Okay, so 86 to 92, a little scrawny 6-point rise.
Yeah, not
Can't
too
beat
much.
that.
Can't beat it.
When you peak under 100, you're doing well.
Yes.
In my case, I started with a 90, and lo and behold, I went down to an 83.
Right.
So, it's one of those cases where it leaves you scratching your head a little bit, thinking, wait a minute, you're supposed to go up when you eat, and I went down. And there are reasons for that, but we won't get into that now. But I think we can sum it up by saying my body was okay with that cereal.
Yes,
both
your
of us.
body really loved it. Both of us.
All right, let's move on to the cereal I bought at Walmart. It's, I think it's called Wonderworks. Yeah, Wonderworks Keto Cereal. And tell us what you started at before the meal and where you ended 1 hour later.
I started with 92. After 1 hour, I was 88.
Started at 92, went to 88. You actually went down on that one.
Yeah, I went down a little bit.
By 4 points, not much, but still, that's when you're supposed to be going up, and instead you're going down.
Yeah.
I can't argue with that. In my ccase, I went up a bit. I started at 90 with the keto cereal and went up to 102. Yeah. 12-point rise, which is some, but still 102 for a peak. Some of you are thinking, well, I'm not even that low when I wake up in the morning. Well, just hang in there. There's hope for you. You can get here as well. Right. Need to say, neither of us takes any diabetic meds, so they don't play any role. We don't take insulin. This is just us.
Yes.
So both the granola coconut cereal and the keto cereal work. Now, let me say this about these two. They're tasty. They're nice.
Yes.
They've got one real negative as far as I'm concerned. Well, really, with the Walmart, there's maybe two. The negative is they're expensive. I mean, when you look at the ingredients I used for that granola type, I mean, a bag of coconut chips, a bag of shredded coconut, a bag of slivered almonds, and so forth. Too
many bags.
A lot of bags. So initially you spend a lot, but I'm just taking 1/3 of a cup of each one. That's going to make a lot of bowls of cereal.
Right, which means it will last for you.
It'll last a long time. So it's not quite as expensive. The initial investment is a lot, but you can stretch that out probably for months doing it that way. But still, it's somewhat expensive. Walmart is twice as much as most any other cereal.
Okay.
Just the fact that it says keto on it.
Right.
And they charge $7 a box. Almost any other cereal is going to be $3.50 to $4 a box. So it kind of bugs me that anytime some company produces some keto version of whatever, they jack up the price about twice as high as ordinary things. As James said in the Bible, my brothers, these things ought not to be so, but it is what it is. But, as I was thinking about the price, and knowing that there are people that are struggling, they can barely pay their bills, and they're looking at stuff like this and say, I just couldn't afford it, Dennis. Right. I thought, okay, what's the cheapest way we could make a low-carb cereal work? I thought about the chia seed that I have done earlier, but that's got a lot of ingredients. I thought, well, let's simplify it.
Okay.
And so what we did yesterday, we had chia seed cereal with just basically 2 ingredients. Chia seed, which is not that expensive, and then peanuts, which is about the cheapest of all the nuts.
Right.
And so we used chia seed. I think it was about a little under 1/3 of a cup of chia seed and about 1/2 a cup of peanuts. I threw in 1 strawberry in each one of ours, a large strawberry, and cut it into pieces. And that one, I thought, if you can't afford the other 2, you probably can afford this one, just chia seeds and peanuts. And if you want, you could throw in a strawberry. Wouldn't have to. Right. And maybe even Africa. I was thinking about Africa. Of course, you're from Africa. We go to Africa. I love Africa. So I think about Africans, and we have Africans watch our channel, and I'm like, some of them are going to be saying, Dennis, I can't get half those ingredients. They don't sell it in my local market. So I thought, well, I know they sell peanuts in Africa, all over Africa.
Yes.
And I'm not sure about chia seed. You said you hadn't heard of it, but then...
Well, I'm sure chia seed is in the market.
Well,
the thing is, I didn't do too much about seeds,
Well, you're like me. Before I got into the low-carb thing, I never had chia seeds.
See, that's
when I was a kid, my mama never said, Dennis, it's time for supper. We're having chia seed pudding or breakfast or anything else. So I didn't know anything about it until I started watching videos and seeing recipes for this, and realizing it was good for blood sugar. Anyway, on the first one, let's go over what we did on the first one. The chia seed pudding, we did this yesterday. Tell us what you got.
Well, I started with 76.
Wow.
And after 1 hour, I ended up with 79.
Never even made it into the 80s. I mean, you can't get any better than that.
Yeah.
Now, I started at 96, quite a bit higher, 20 points higher than you did.
Right.
But after 1 hour of eating that chia seed and peanuts with one strawberry sliced up and put in there, it dropped down to 80.
Wonderful,
Went from 96 down to 80. It's, again, one of those mysteries. I think I understand it, but no time to go into that right now.
No time.
But anyway, my body liked that just fine, too. So you look at the whole thing. How would you sum up our 3 cereal experience of these last 2 days?
Well, in summary, I will give it, thumbs up. I'll be like, this is really good. Despite that it's a little expensive, but you're investing in your health instead of, eating the things that will not be good in your body and you still spend money. So I think this, I'll give it, credit, A+.
Well, I have to as well. All of these worked for us. I won't say they'll work for you, but I'll say chances are they will if they work for us.
They work for us.
And when you look at all the numbers we got as peaks, only one time did one of us get over 100, and that was me at 102 after the Walmart WonderWorks keto cereal. Yeah. But 102 is not bad at all.
Not bad.
So, you really can't fault. Now, we're going to quickly end this, but we're going to do a rank the cereals by taste. We've ranked them by how well they do with blood sugar.
They did great.
How do they do on taste? So,
taste.
Go ahead and show us what you gave. This is from a rating of 1 to 10. What you gave the chia seed?
Well, what I gave chia seed was
a 6. And I gave it a 7. It's good. I won't say it's the greatest thing going, but it's good. It's solid. You won't gag when you eat it. All right, let's move on to the homemade granola / coconut type cereal. What did you give that for taste?
I gave it for taste 8.
I gave it a 10. I think that is about the best thing going. I just love it. And like I said earlier, it's better than almost anything you can find at the grocery store. Finally.
One thing I want to say about this, in case you make it, is like you're going to chew a whole lot.
Yeah.
Just be ready to chew those nuts and seeds.
We try to finish at the same time so we can do the 1 hour. But this lady was 15 minutes longer than me because she just was so slow chewing that granola cereal.
Slow, he said, I like to chew my food very well before I get it down inside my stomach. Because Dr. Oz will be like giving me thumbs up for this.
We can't displease Dr. Oz by any means.
No.
Let's go on to the WonderWorks keto cereal that I bought at Walmart. What'd you give the keto cereal for taste?
Yeah.
She gave it the best ranking of all. I gave it an 8. I thought it was good. It was not so different from the Cocoa Puffs, a little different, but it was solid. It again, doesn't make you gag. So here are 3 options for you. My love, we're going to close this up. Why don't you tell these people what they need to do if they like this video? What should they do?
If you like this video, please don't forget to comment below and tell us how much you love it if you try it, and tell us if you are going to
if they're going to